Hey all, for this vid, I'll tell you what, I kind of got together a bunch of Build-A-Figures at the same time. Well, 3 Build-A-Figures and I put together, let me back up. Put together one, I had this one put together. I've got one that is based off a Build-A-Figure. And then I got one that I did get outright. So, does that make sense? But they're all Build-A-Figures. So I thought I'd take this time to talk about the Build-A-Figure phenomenon. Well, it's got its good with its bad. Let's get into that. The good. I doubt this guy ever would have been made if it wasn't for Build-A-Figure. It was Wendigo. This is a tough one because he's a bigger figure. He's, would have been in that Mega Deluxe scale. A lot of Marvel characters fit into that. He's not that popular of a character though, so it begs the question, why bother? He's a Hulk villain, generally also a Wolverine villain, so, is there any demand for that? And it's like, well, the bean counter is going to be like, nah. And then, so, you put him in a Build-A-Figure wave, that kind of solves your problem. It's kind of like having that, you got kind of a loser character that may be a big seller, but probably won't. You kind of never know, because sometimes there's a cult following or something like that. You just give it a shot. But Wendigo kind of fits into that category. I dig Wendigo. I thought he was kind of a fun character. I was glad that I finally put the Build-A-Figure together. And it's a funny story because I've had him a while. And what happened was that I had put together a video. It was a nice video, snow backdrop, and some snow effects, and you hear a Wendigo and all that shit, and my computer crashed. When my computer crashed, I lost. That was one of the big ones I lost. So I said, I'll redo it. And then, I kind of get my rhythm back, and then I lose my editing program because of what I updated on Windows. And, on and on, all kinds of bullshit. But here we are today. I just said I'm tired of waiting. I'm just going to do the video, be done with it, and be happy with what I've done. Because, you know what? Nobody's going to watch that video anyway. Figured that out a long time ago. They see Wendigo built here, that was years ago, I don't care. So, yeah. Anywho, the thing I like about Build-A-Figures, it does give you characters you probably wouldn't get normally. The thing I hate about Build-A-Figures is it does cause you to buy characters you wouldn't normally buy. It's a double-edged sword, and it's a hard one to deal with, and I haven't seen a Build-A-Figure yet that doesn't reach into that problem. But, still, they're re-releasing a lot of Build-A-Figures lately as deluxes, and it's kind of like, okay, why didn't you do this in the first place? And, in a certain way, I guess, okay, we don't have to pay for new tooling because we already paid for it. It doesn't bring the price down, though, that was the big deal with the Maximum Spider-Man. It's new tooling. Well, so isn't Spider-Man 2099 and Carnage. Oh, no, I'm sorry. So isn't Carnage, and he's still regular price. Yeah, nobody ever catches that. Anyway, get new tooling all the time. You just don't pay attention. It's fun. The cope people have with this line is just amazing to me. But anywho, we'll move on from Wendigo. Look, he's flying. So yeah, Build-A-Figures. Super Skrull. Okay, this one has a complicated story. More stoic face, more regular arms. Let's just get down to it. Okay, so when the New York Comic Con exclusive one was announced, I thought, I might get that. Then they started playing the exclusive game again where it'd be in stock and out of stock, in stock, out of stock, yeah, la 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 la. I will be honest, I did not like the Human Torch bottom half because, well, just didn't. I was kind of frustrated with the whole thing, and then sometimes I get lucky, and someone had this complete Build-A-Figure with the flame effect, with everything, he just wanted $40 for it. Just with unloading, another guy unloading his collection. I'm getting a lot of those around where I live, and I'm getting a lot of great deals out of it, so it's weird. It's like the people around me are definitely abandoning toy collecting. So with that in mind, I mean, he just wanted to get rid of it without having to deal with eBay or all that stuff. I did trade him a couple of things and brought the price down even more, but I got it. Super Skrull. I do for this mainly because of the flame effect that's on the thing's fist. That I really like that. I also like that you're getting dual wield powers here. I like that as well. Super Skrull is not one of my faves, but I do like him. Now, what I didn't like was that, you know, the New York Comic Con one was just the same figure. And really, I mean, he's a little bigger than normal Marvel Legend, but not that much. That was a disappointment to me. So, you know. But still, I mean, I very seriously doubt they're going to bring another Super Skrull around. So this is the shot. So I got it for the same amount as the oh boy, I can't think, the the exclusive one. So if I can get it for the same price as that, you know, his logic was the price was gonna be shooting down soon, so it didn't matter. From what I've seen on listings, it hasn't, but you know, that's not completed listings, so I haven't really looked on completed listings. I'm happy with it. I got the Super Skrull in my collection. He will be going into the villains shelf somewhere. I've got no room in my villain shelf. My villain shelf is overwhelmed with everything from everywhere all at once. Shit, I still haven't got my Executioner in there. I don't know how I'm gonna deal with that. We'll see. Not a Build-A-Figure, but based on a Build-A-Figure. As such, I thought he would fit nicely in here. So, get a card. I don't know why McFarlane thinks we want cards. You get a stand, which is pointless with these gigantic figures. You get a fist, a pointing hand, and one with Omega beams, which actually is kind of cool. Okay. And then, of course, Darksied. Darksied does have a wired cape, but it feels like a plenty robust wire, but when I try to do the sideways trick of the wind, it doesn't want to really cooperate. Anything I try to do with it doesn't want to cooperate. I don't know if there's just not enough. I mean, because the wire comes up over and then hooks in there. And I do wonder if there's just not enough holding it. I mean, I guess you get a slight wind swept thing there. So, yeah. Anyway. Good deal. He was loose but complete. Around, I believe, $40, which was retail as I remember. So, yeah. Finally got me a Darksied. And the cool part about this, Darksied is another one of those characters that, if, you know, the new DC line is a smaller scale, he still works for that DC line. Probably better even, because, you know, DC probably ain't going to put him up that big. I'm interested in that DC line from Mattel. But, you know, we're still waiting and seeing. But, hey, got to step ahead with Darksied, you know. That's always cool. I mean, Darksied is like, I don't know, he's kind of the Thanos of DC, but not really. they are slightly different, but Darksied seems to be more about, you know, power and controlling anti-life, as he calls it, which I'm not sure what that is, but it's not life, so there you go. 6 of one, half a dozen of the other. Let's figure this out. No, I refuse to. Okay. Darksied is one of the few guys that can really be a threat to Superman. I like that because, you know, they have some pretty epic battles. And, you know, yeah, he's just the baddest of all the DC villains, in my opinion. I mean, he's the cosmic threat, just like Thanos is. So, there we are. I mean, that's his whole purpose. I'm trying to think. I'm thinking Darksied was first, but Thanos didn't really become a major cosmic threat until, probably Infinity Gauntlet. That's my guess. But anyway, we still have this figure. It's one of Todd's better figures. I mean, I don't like Todd aesthetic very much on some things, but I do like all the extra detailing here on the arms, you know. Yeah, I think it works, but 6 of one, half a dozen of the other. That's Darksied, and he's in my collection. And as soon as I got him out, let me see if I can get the arm to pop out. Yeah, the arm popped out immediately because it's the Build-A-Figure body, and well, that's what happened. It's practically the same figure. Got some reuse. Great. Good. Finally. Okay. Yeah, that's really all I can think to say because, you know, I just wanted a Darksied. That sounded weird. And so I have a Darksied. Awesome. And so, yeah, I wanted to wrap up with kind of a fave villain of mine, Calaban. Calaban was just a dude who could he understand languages? Something like that. He had a weird little power. Got hooked up with Apocalypse, and Apocalypse made him into this giant beast. And he actually used to be part of X Factor, if you remember. And, yeah, I just always thought he was kind of cool. I had the Toy Biz version of him. That was one of my favorite figures from that line, the X-Men line, because it was just like, you know, he just looked awesome compared to the other figures. He was bigger than all the other figures, and he had that spring-loaded bash. I was in my 20s when that line came out. Yeah, I know. It's pretty sad, ain't it? But he could just lift up his hands and just bash down on other figures. I like this one. It's okay. I mean, perfect? No, not at all. But good. Good nonetheless. I dig it. I've been putting this one together for a while. Finally got all the pieces. This might be my last Build-A-Figure I want, that barring when new ones that come out. Like, you know, this guy. I didn't realize he was so much shorter. Oh, it should have been even with him, but oh well. Doesn't matter. Look, new tooling. I'm not letting that go. Anyway, like I said, I dig Calaban. You know, I just thought he was an interesting villain, and it made for interesting watching. Interesting watching, reading. You know, he fought Wolverine a few times, and blah 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 blah. You know, it was sort of the end of the run where, you know, comics were losing their luster a little bit, and I mean, I don't hate them now, but you know, let's face it, they're not what they used to be. And finding a good story is very, very hard, and it's almost futile. It really is. You know, there's people talk about the way Hollywood's gone down, so have comic books. it's a problem throughout the entire system. It isn't just one thing. Toys are suffering too, but hey, you do what you gotta do. But I've got Calaban. Took me forever to find, I believe it was the right arm. And so yeah, finally got the right arm at a price that isn't a stinker. I ended up with a bit of extra torso, and I think I got an extra leg that I'm probably going to part with soon, because I don't know how I ended up with extras. That happens from time to time with Build-A-Figure parts. Same thing with Collector. That happened with Collector as well. I don't know. I'm confused. Oh, I think Collector I ended up with an extra leg because somebody didn't know their right from their left. Beside the point. Build-A-Figures are obviously slipping away. We had 2 this year. Last year. That was it. And I don't know how many they plan for this year. It'll be interesting to see, because, and I wouldn't be surprised if we don't see 1 this year. Because, you know, they're taking out that piece and they're getting a lot more profit from they're taking out the Build-A-Figure piece. Because that's one thing they don't have to mold. If they don't have to mold it, that doesn't bring in any cost. Yeah, we get it. We just don't like it. I hate the fucking comic books. Those are not a value. Those are a piece of garbage. But Build-A-Figure pieces, at least there was something there. You know, still didn't make it worth the price, but it was there. There's a couple I debated. Armadillo I've not even tried to get yet, and I may try to get a couple more, but not decided. So don't hold me to that. You know, I have a lot of Build-A-Figures at this point, so it's not like I'm suffering or anything. Definitely don't need a Build-A-Figure. Let's say it that way. But happy with the way this collection is coming along. It's going to be going real good soon. That's all I can think to say, man. You guys, take care. Have a wonderful day. Do YouTube stuff to help me. Then my videos will get out more, and then I can make more videos. You know, just how it is. The algorithm needs your money. Okay, not your money, just your time. Alright, take care, have a wonderful day.